it was very interesting yesterday watching all the right-wing media ignore the fact that we caught the guy who was responsible for Benghazi. And in the midst of all this, you know, the usual suspects, the war hawks and the hysterics and the Islamophobes and the anything other than, you know, quote, traditional, to quote Tom Tillis, white guys, phobes are you know, just pumping it. I mean, even Bo Bergdahl's dad got hit over at Fox News. Here's Brian Kilmeade on Fox and Friends going off on, he's got a beard. Oh, my God, he must be different from us.
He says he was growing his beard because his son was in captivity. Well, your son's out now. Right. So if you really don't no longer want to look like a member of the Taliban, you don't have to look like a member of the Taliban. Are you out of razors?
Men make their faces look just like women's faces. Wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. But this is yeah, anyway. Jasjit Singh is with us. He is the executive director for the Sikh American Legal Defense and Education Fund. Sikh is S-I-K-H. I used to pronounce it Sikh for years and years. I remember going to the Golden Temple restaurant in Phoenix, Arizona back 30 years ago, and everybody called it Sikh. Jasjit, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Tom. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. First of all, on my mispronunciation of the name of your religion, is that common?
It is common. I mean, you can say Sikh or Sikh, and you won't offend a member of the faith in any which direction, but the actual pronunciation is, in fact, Sikh. It literally means student.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I guess we all, when we used to go to the Golden Temple, which was run by a bunch of Sikhs, we all used to, refer to them as Sikhs, and nobody ever corrected us. I guess they were just being polite. But in any case, and I wanted to differentiate that so people get it, that we're not talking about people with illnesses either.
Right.
That, because this is radio, at least half of our audience, anyways, listening to us, they can't see you. And so the Sikhs are the folks who wear the turban and a beard, men, among other things, as part of your religion.
That's right. That's right. The turban and beard is mandated. There are a few other articles of faith as well, but Sikhism is the world's fifth largest religion, and Sikhs have been in America for over 125 years now.
Wow, wow. And in fact, I would say that from what little I know of it, that Sikhs are as clean-cut, all-American mom and apple pie in terms of behavior and morality standards as Mormons are. I mean, you guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but self-discipline and not indulging in intoxicants and things like this. These are an important part of your religion, are they not?
Absolutely, Tom. Well said, except maybe clean cut may not be the words I use.
Yeah, well, yeah, okay, you're right.
I know what you mean. Yeah, Sikhs believe in one God, equality, freedom of religion, community service, many of the fundamentals that this country was built upon. So it's really you'll find that Sikhs tend to be among the most American of Americans. The irony really happens to be that our unique articles of faith, in particular the turban and beard, which we're talking about today, tend to put us in a different sort of light with our fellow Americans, and in particular with the media in some instances, like we'll discuss. And to me, these articles of faith actually represent American ideals just as much as they represent Sikh ideals.
Yeah. And let's talk about that. You guys commissioned a study to find out, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, this was after a member of the Sikh faith was murdered by a guy who was screaming about how he was killing Muslims a year or two ago.
Yep. And so on August 5th, 2012, it was actually a white supremacist who was formerly an Army veteran, came into a Sikh Gurdwara, place of worship in Oak Creek, Wisconsin, and opened fire. He killed 6 members of the community and shot himself. That would become the deadliest attack on a place of worship in U.S. history. And we commissioned, it was really a wake-up call for us. We recognized in that moment that the challenges that our community is facing with regard to public perception are much more than just a PR issue. These have real implications. People are dying, and it's essential that we change that perception as soon as possible.
And one of the things you found is that there is a frightening level of both ignorance and bigotry among average Americans.
Absolutely. What we found, we conducted the community's first ever public perception assessment in collaboration with Stanford University. And what we learned is that most people don't know who Sikhs are, and even when they think they know, they're oftentimes getting it wrong. Our research showed that 70% of Americans, actually of an more educated populace, which was interviewed, did not know who a Sikh American was. And not only did they not know, but they also had a bias against our articles of faith. So when they were shown an image of a man in a turban and beard, they, at 1 in 5, 20% actually said that openly that they had apprehension or anger when they saw an image like this. And of course, that's very alarming. That's concerning for members of our community who are, put in the crosshairs on a day-to-day basis when they're meeting people who don't know who they are, but worse yet, think that they stand for something that is the polar opposite of what, in fact, they are.
Did the study look just at Caucasian Americans, or did you study also African Americans and Hispanics and other minority groups' perspectives towards Sikhs?
It was cross. We didn't break it down by that demographic. It was just a cross poll of the American demographic.
Okay, but it was a cross section of the American demo. So
exactly.
That's pretty amazing. So the net of this is that the kind of rhetoric that we're hearing on Fox News about Bob Bergdahl's beard is the kind of which I have to say continues to fascinate me, that men who spend enormous amounts of time and money. I have not trimmed my facial hair all the way to my skin since I was 27 years old, and in part because of a promise that I made to a man who was my spiritual mentor. But the idea that men should do that they should make their face look like women's, that seems to me odder than the idea that a man should simply grow a beard, because beards grow normally. I don't get it.
They do. We say just get out of the way of nature.
Yeah.
And you'll eventually get that. I wish, though, Tom, that I was more surprised at the comments made by Kilmeade or O'Reilly.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I'm not. They're really all too common in this day and age. And I'm disappointed, frankly, more than anything, that, for political gain or for TV drama, Fox and their producers, their anchors would choose to take a path that they did. That would continue to divide our country.
The Duck Dynasty guys figured out that if you put an American flag around your head, which is technically illegal, I think, that everybody thinks that you're wonderful. I mean, maybe American flag turbans? I don't think so, though, right?
Maybe that's something we need to consider. But you're absolutely right. These comments, not only are they false when they indict an entire community simply for the way they look, but they're a dangerous misconception.
Hang on, Jasjit.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
I'm sorry we get stepped on by this guy. Jasjit Singh, you can get the information over at saldef.org. Thank you, Jasjit.
Thank you.